Good day, everyone. Jenny here again. Today I am with Stephanie Smith. This is Caleb's girlfriend. Has been since, how long ago did y'all meet, Steph?
2014.
So for almost 5 years now, you guys have been boyfriend, girlfriend. So, we are doing an interview with her today. Wanted her to be the second one that we interviewed since she has been right there with Caleb since the beginning. So what was life like for you before you met? What was yours and Caleb's relationship like?
It was fun. We got to see each other every day. We went out on dates, did things together, would hang out at your house and my mom's, do family events, and that was basically it.
Just dated.
Mm-hmm.
When did you come to realize that Caleb maybe had been drinking too much?
When he stayed with me and my mom, and he would drink handles of liquor, a Fireball.
How did that make you feel?
Worried.
What was it like?
It was worrying and scared, and I didn't think I could say anything because that's what he wanted to do.
Did you say anything to him?
Told him I didn't like it, and that I thought he should slow down the drinking. And he didn't need to drink and drive or get drunk to go to sleep.
What do you think was driving that, causing him to drink like that?
Anxiety
From what?
from, I guess, whatever was going on in his head, past things that have happened to him, and his grandmother passing was one.
Was he using when his grandmother passed?
He was drinking, but he wasn't using.
He wasn't using meth. How did you find out that he was using meth?
I went to go stay with him one day at a friend's house, and he went to the back room, and I kind of thought something was up, but I didn't know because I've never been around it, so I didn't think nothing about it. And then he just finally came up and told me one day when we sat in the car after I come up and saw him one day.
What were some of your thoughts and feelings surrounding that?
Scared and worried, not knowing what to do,
Worried about what?
what would happen to him.
Did you ever think he would die?
Yeah.
When y'all moved to Greenville? So what happened, before we get to that question, what happened between him using and you guys going to Greenville? Because you kind of had a period there where you broke up for a little bit, right? So what happened between you guys breaking up, you finding out he was using, and you guys getting back together and going back to Greenville? Tell us about that.
Well, we broke up, and we would talk on and off to each other, and there was a period of time where we quit talking, and I decided to try to reach out to him. It was Valentine's Day, started missing him, so I texted him and asked him how he was doing. Well, actually, no, he texted me and told me Happy Valentine's Day, and I was actually thinking about him, and then we decided to meet each other one day, and then since then, we started dating again. He asked me back out on our same anniversary date, and then he would come see me. He never really stayed. He would stay somewhere else, and that's before I knew he was using. And then whenever I went that one night to stay with him, found out the next day, and then I took my dog to the vet, and I could tell something was up. So that's the day he told me. And then
What did you say to him? I mean, did you want to stop seeing him, or what?
no,
What did that
I
change?
didn't want to stop seeing him, but I was worried on what the outcome would be of me staying. What would happen to me?
Did you ever think that you might end up using? No.
Just because I would never have him. I don't
You
care
never was
for
a
alcohol and drugs. I don't have a temptation for anything. I just didn't care for it. I didn't see a point because I don't want to get stuck in something that I can't get out of. So I didn't want to do anything.
So when you guys started, did you guys start back talking or letting everybody know that you were talking because you knew you were pregnant? And yeah. Did he try to quit?
He tried to quit, and then whenever I would think he quit, I would find out he did it again. And it was just on and off.
So what led you guys to go to Greenville then? Because our understanding was that you guys were going there in order for him to be clean, and
That was the reason why we left, was to get him away from everybody, because if he got away from them, then he wouldn't do
the
it.
idea was that he wouldn't do it again.
But it didn't turn out that way after all. He decided to try and get it anyways. Because once you know what people do, you can tell if they use or not, then you go and look for it.
Is that why y'all had to leave Greenville? Because the guy
And
found out?
because the guy found out, then he wanted to start using, and it was a bad situation.
No way. Did the guy start using?
He used once, and then he never used after that, but he did try it, and I just didn't want to be there anymore. I wanted to be closer to family, because if something were to happen, I didn't have anybody there.
So when you guys came back, you moved back to our house. When you moved back here, under the pretense that he was still clean, did you do that thinking you were protecting Caleb? Protecting you? I mean, what was the idea there?
For coming back here?
Yeah, well, for coming back here, but, having everybody believe that he was clean when he wasn't. What was the...
The reason was because to try to protect him, because I didn't know what would happen, and then I didn't know what happened if I would say anything, just because you're not in the right mindset when you're using, so I didn't know how to actually tell it to anybody. That was his family, so I just kept it in. He didn't say anything.
Was he ever abusive when he was using?
No, he was sweet and kind.
Was it actually better when he was using?
To a certain extent, but no, because it was fake. It wasn't real, because when you're on the drug, you're thinking all these other things, and then when you're off of it, it's...
What were some of the things he shared with you while he was using?
What do you mean?
You said when you're on the drug, you're thinking. What was he telling you he was thinking?
Well, when he was on the drugs, he would tell me that he was thinking of our relationship and how it was good, and he would write me sweet letters, and he would tell me, he would write poems, and then that was basically it.
Did you ever see him use?
Yeah.
So you saw him shoot up? What was that like?
It was scary. Not knowing what would happen after that. Or if he used a clean needle, or was it too much? And then what was I going to do after that?
What made you watch that or do that and stay with him or support him in that? What was your idea or your thinking behind that?
The reason why I stayed in there is because he would ask me to. And I didn't know, like, if I'm not in there, what was going to happen. And if I could prevent it from happening, to try to talk him out of it, would he not do it?
Let's take a break here for a second. So, just so everybody knows, Stephanie and I and the family, we're on, like I said, we're on the other side of this. We're a year and a half out from it. We are, Caleb's clean, and and we've already walked through all of this. We've not actually talked about this kind of stuff, but there's no, me asking Stephanie these things isn't in any way to insult her, or it's just to be real about what, some of the things she saw. Some of the stuff that I hear today will be the first time I've ever heard it, because these things we haven't really talked about. But it is important for us to get this information out there. Stephanie is crying right now, and I know that it is hard for her to. I'm his mom, and so telling these things is probably a little difficult for her, but and there will be absolutely no backlash, no hard feelings, nothing. This is just the truth of what happened. This is what we went through, and so as we're telling this, even though it's new information, all of that is water under the bridge, and we look back only to celebrate the goodness of God that He's brought us through this. So yes, some of this is the first time I'm hearing it, but it is a good thing all together. We know that. So yeah, I'm asking the questions that I've never asked before, because maybe part of me didn't want to know. Did you ever feel unprotected? Alone, unguided? Did you ever want to tell your dad?
No, I was scared.
Who did you want to tell?
I wanted to tell you.
But telling me would have meant betraying Caleb.
And not knowing what you would have said about how you felt about me, or what would happen after that.
So you get pregnant, and we all go through the pregnancy, baby showers, ups, downs. Caleb was here, and what we thought we were dealing with, the aftermath or the backlash of his drug use, was actually his drug use. What was that like? I mean, because I know you guys said there were times that he used in the bedroom in the house here. How scary was that?
Scary. Not knowing what was going to happen if we got caught. And what was going to happen if he happened to do something and then he overdosed, and then you don't have to find him like that.
That was the 2-hour back trips, huh? When y'all were in the bathroom for that long. Or the 2-hour Walmart trips. And what was Walmart trips like?
It was just him meeting people.
Oh yeah? For what?
To go get drugs, to meet him there. And then to use there because he didn't want to use here.
I remember having the baby a lot. Because y'all would be going to Walmart. And I think it was easier for all of us, me and Kevin, to be in denial about the drug use, and you guys are safer there, not with the baby. But then it became the habit of Hunchy going to sleep every night on Granddaddy, you guys getting out, us having some quiet time. It was just a mess. One thing I think that we've never really talked about was how I've come to find out that Caleb was using. Did you ever know how I found out?
No, I don't think I did.
So, do you remember, okay, so the weekend before, or the day before, I moved you and Hunchy
Yeah,
To
it was whenever we moved to
Pillion
Christmas.
with Christy and Big Chet, Caleb's real father and stepmother. Stephanie and Caleb were going to go stay there for a little bit. It was, Kevin and I were very glad because they would have the protection of Christy and Chet, and Hunchy was going to be in a home still, and Stephanie was taken care of, and we were glad. Everybody, I think, really was glad. I think you guys were glad because you were getting out from under us, and so I guess Caleb went. He got caught using that weekend before by Christy and Big Chat, and that's when we found. Well, we didn't even know. We just thought he took a back step and started using, and so we moved. He went to rehab just to kind of get away to pay his dues for what he had done, and so he goes to rehab, and while he's at rehab, we still carry on with the plan to move you guys in with Christy and Chet. And I had packed all of your stuff and all of Hunchy's stuff, and Granddaddy helped. And that was the first time through all this I had seen him cry. He had seen me cry many times, but that was when he had to carry Hunchy's stuff out to the car was the first time that he cried. And I packed as much of your stuff as I could. And you said, can I come by tomorrow to get some panties out of my panty drawer? And at first I thought, what? I've packed everything. And I'm not, and my thought was remembering Caleb coming home, plundering through stuff and making a mess and stuff like that. And I said, I'm not going to have them coming in and out. I'll just take it to her. So I went back there and I took all the panties, the whole drawer, and I put it in a bag, and there were some keys right there. And I knew when I saw the keys, that's why she wanted in the panty drawer. But then you sent a text later. You led me right to it. You said, and don't worry about any of Caleb's bags. I'll get them. So I said, well, now I've got to worry about the bags. So I go to look through the bags, and there's a lock. So I said, well, keys go to locks. let me see what fits. And it fit. So, except in his bag, he had a locked box. So, and of course, Kevin figured out the code, and we found the drugs and the needles and everything inside. And so I called a friend of mine who works for our police department, local police department, and told him, we found this and we need to get rid of it. But, can we just throw it away? And he said, no, bring it down, let us get rid of it and give you a statement in case you need it later for the baby. But that day, and I handled it horribly, but that day I brought you your stuff, and I fussed, I yelled at you, I was mad at you that you knew. Then I knew you knew he had been using, and that you didn't tell us, and I was mad about that. And you said, well, me and Braden are just going to go away. I said, well, good. And I went Christmas shopping. And I remember that day talking to Christy all day long, because you had told her, should I leave your house? And she said, yes, that would be a good idea. Rightfully so, because she had an 11-year-old that she didn't want that around him. And so all day that day, she and I were texting each other, did we do the right thing? Is this, and I remember even telling you I felt like everything was being shaken, but so that it could come back into place. But we didn't know then how. So, all I knew was that you and Braden were out there. And for the last 3 months, 2.5 months, all we knew was him, and he's gone, and how could he be gone? And that was a horrible day. And it was a horrible day for you. You were misplaced, didn't know. And you didn't have Caleb. So what was that like?
Sad.
Mm-hmm. Did you think it was over for you and Caleb? Why?
Not having his family. Lying. And then not hiding it from you guys to throw it away, because that's what I was supposed to do before we moved. It wasn't supposed to go there.
Yeah.
I was supposed to come get it to throw it away.
Which is
Y'all never knew.
why you were saying, I need the panties, but you basically needed the keys. Don't worry about the book bags, yeah. What would have been different if you had?
I don't think anything would have been different. Other than being able to stay at Christie's, but
Yeah, I don't think you guys would have moved back here. And that's why I said I felt like it was a shaking, but so everything could settle back in place. Because what ended up happening was that morning I dropped the bags off at you, and I'm yelling that you knew, this was my worst nightmare, that you knew and you didn't tell me, and it was so fresh to me I couldn't understand that. And then by that evening, you and Hunchy were back home, and you've lost him. Because that evening and before we get into that, Kevin, when I'm home and I find out where you are, Kevin said, get the baby back here. And he didn't want him out there. This was his home, it was all he knew, and so he said, get the baby back here. So I told you, come on back here, and you did. How did you get back here? I don't remember. Maybe your aunt or somebody brought you back here?
no, I think it was
I came and got you.
you did
I came and got you.
because I was at Jacob's.
No, you were at your mom's. You had been at Jessica's that day, and then you were at your mom's whenever. And she said, because I remember she said, I told Stephanie this is a good thing. And
Yep.
So anyway, you come back here, and you were so young. Like, you didn't know that Kevin and I really didn't have the right to take the baby. So we basically just took the baby, and you were like, well, okay. I can't do anything about it. But it turned out to be a good thing, because once DSS got involved, he was already settled here, and they weren't going to take him from us, who had taken him from you, so they knew he was safe. So it turned out to be a good thing. Not only that, our heart was to keep you with him, so that worked out good. But what was that like for you, losing him?
It was sad, scary, and like he was ripped away.
Did you feel like you'd ever get him back again? That you'd ever be good enough? Yeah. Some days I felt like that for you. That she doesn't feel like she's ever going to be good enough to get him back again. What did that do inside of you? Did it make you want to do what you needed to do to get him back, or did you ever want to quit? You're like, I'm never going to accomplish this.
I wanted to, but then I couldn't. Because he was mine.
Right. Glad you didn't.
Yeah.
So now he's your little booty.
Yeah. Follows me everywhere.
What did you learn through all that? What was life like living here as my child with your child? Because you basically became mine.
There was times where it was challenging.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Any of my kids would say that.
yeah. Between how my parents raised me and then coming into your house, how you wanted to raise me was two different things.
Mhm.
But it was a good thing because there was things that I learned that I didn't have when I lived with my mom, and when my parents were together, I didn't have what y'all had.
And not to take away from
No,
your mom or
no,
anything.
no.
It's just that was just a difference.
I got to learn things. I had more of a structure of, okay, this is what I expect. These are the things you're going to do, or this is what happens. These are some things that's going to come up if you don't do it. Also got to learn different ways to cook instead of just instant cooking and trying to just put something together. Instead of
Yeah,
actually
you did
taking
have.
the time.
Yeah, we did have to do recipes,
And
and
then having to go through the counseling was very helpful through the whole thing. I think that's kind of
that was
what
the best thing
helped
about DSS getting involved.
was having Lorraine being able to talk to my counselor about it, having actually a family member who was on my dad's side,
Mm-hmm.
who was going through it, Kevin, he was very helpful, very. And I actually had to tell him not to tell my family because I didn't want them to know. But now it's a year and a half, and now everything's better.
So on that note, let's end it here today. I guess we're gonna have to do a two-part on this one. And yeah, it is. But one thing that Kevin and I always, even together or when we're out talking to somebody who knows the situation, we get to brag now.
Yeah.
How much you've grown, how experienced you are, how good of a mom you are. You're very hands-on, and now you're even helping with your niece and nephew. So it's emotional. It's hard. We did walk it out. It was tough, but you're in a good place now, and so spiritually, emotionally, physically, everything, you've grown in so many areas, and Braden's better for it. Hunchy is better for it. So we're gonna end this one today, and so we'll come back in a few days, and we'll pick up from where we left off today on you coming back to live here and what it was like, and then we'll pick up and go through us walking it out as a family with Caleb being homeless and us having the baby and me and you trying to get things together, and we don't know how, and then Caleb getting clean and you guys getting it back. So thank you so much. We'll be back in a few days, and you can give little Stephanie some time to get it together, and then we'll be back and we'll pick up where we left off, and the second part is gonna be way better.
It'll be better.
Yeah.
It's just the beginning. In the middle.
Yeah. And like I said, some of the things that you guys are hearing for the first time, I am as well, and so it's a good learning experience. It's just a good experience. So thank you very much. God bless you. Have a good day. Now I can cut the end of the video.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, are you just gonna
Yeah, you just look at it. I know, I do.